and that came out. They worked on Check It Out. We were there. We did the background vocals. Check it out, y'all. Check it out. We're like, check it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was cool,
yeah.
man. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna join with Mary, yo. Like,
Damn.
I could claim that.
Hell yeah.
Um, but
Oh, shit.
so there was one time one of my SOS partners, his name was Rob. I told you he's the one that kind of got caught up in the street, and he had got gunned down. He got involved in some stuff, and got murdered. And so we were kind of, we went to his wake, and we were just kind of in this, in this funk. And I guess around that time we went to go see Poobah in the studio again. This is another time, and he's in there working with her, and she's actually now in the vocal booth. And this studio was dope. It was fly. I forgot which one this was because it had like the glass from head to toe, like so you could see, the whole inside the studio, whatever the microphone is. And we're just sitting down. There's like a lounge chair. We're just sitting down, just like watching a performance. And she was covering a Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack song. And I don't, it's just the title in my head right now. I forget what it was. I didn't know what the song was at the time. And the way she was flipping it, it was just like she just threw on some R&B on it and made it like this whole other record. And I was just blown away, man. It was like, whoa, like we were just like captured, like this. We're sitting here witnessing this, and long story short, that I don't know whatever happened to that record. It kind of got lost in the mix of reels, so that never came out. But that was an experience that I remember clearly with Mary, and then also going on to perform the video, check it out with her. That was filmed in Floyd Bennett Field, where the
Mhm.
airline, all the air
Yep, yep.
bases. And then when one time we were touring, and we never really we had Poobah would perform his version of what's the 411 on at our show when we would do shows. He would just do his part. The beginning we had a dance routine to it. Um, and one time we were in Philly and Mary was performing at one of the arenas out there. I forget the name. And we joined her. She had her dancers, and that was the first time they performed with the 411 together. So I remember just coming out and just like, yo, like we already had our routine to his part, and then her dancers had the routine to her part, and that was amazing. And that's the picture that I had asked you for. That was in the Source magazine
Ah,
in the back. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got
So
that
that,
for you, didn't you? Didn't I? Did I
yeah,
find that?
man,
Okay. All
you
right.
came through. Yeah, yeah, you came through. You sent that to
I
me.
can't remember.
There was a picture. You know how they put the pictures in the back of the source of like the
Yeah.
Yeah.
bands, say performances. It was in one of those, and I remember that was in the back at that time. It's like, oh snap, yo, I'm in the source.
Nice,
You know,
nice.
Is
word.
Grand Poobah the last artist that you dance for? And at what point do you start to see dancing start to phase out in hip hop?
Um, yeah, pretty much. After it was 93, we're kind of getting ready to wrap up the Real tour. That was another amazing run of experiences of meeting artists and doing different shows. Which yeah, um, so like I said, everything kind of changes with the music. It's like the music changes and everything starts to shift. So this is 93. So it's kind of like an end of an era, and then now there's a new era coming in with like Black Moon,
Hardcore. We
hardcore.
talked
The
we talked about that on one of our shows.
right,
That was the year of hardcore. Even LL was 14 shots to the dome and
Onyx.
Onyx, Wu
You know what I mean?
Tang,
Exactly.
MC
So
Light.
things.
Roughneck. Gotta have a roughneck.
So things started to change and a little bit, and the tempo, even the tempo slowed down. You know what I'm saying? It got like we went from things were like at 100 BPMs, like up tempo, and then it went down to like 92, 93, 89. Uh, the image started to change, and cats just started going in a different direction. So I think that it just shifted off to, you know, started to wind down as far as the dancing, and it kind of was like, kind of the way like how breaking was kind of like, all right, that's enough of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess people started to feel that way towards dancers in a way, because there was like a time where also like, you know, it was like, yo, F that dancing stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, certain
yeah.
cats didn't like that, you know, especially we would draw attention, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, if you didn't know how to dance back then, it was just like, you know, so we would get some, you know, kind of hate going our way, like, you know, because we would, you know,
Yeah,
be
because
this.
you guys were dancing, you were cool, you had the fashion, the girls were paying attention to you guys and not to the other ones that you know.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that, you know, that's, so Poobah was the last person we danced for back then. But later on, we wound up doing another video with Poobah when he came out with another solo album. I think
2000.
no, so by the time he did 2000, that was, I think, 95. Is that where I Like was on there? I'm not sure. I think so.
Something
Okay.
like that.
We weren't, you know what I'm saying? Dancing was kind of like already, you know what I'm saying, was already put to the side. A lot of the, like I said before, a lot of the hip hop dancers went towards, you know, R&B. You know what I mean? Like, they started dancing with Mariah Carey, you know, Janet Jackson, you know.
Yeah. Even I think Stretch and Buddha got in a Michael
Yep, yep.
Jackson video.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So, you know
and
what I mean?
Loose Joints I think did too, right? Wasn't
Yeah, Loose Joints was in there.
yeah, was
Lane.
he the one? Loose Joints was the one that did the Remember the Time,
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah,
right? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Mhm.
exactly. Loose Joints was in B Street too.
Was he what part?
He was in the
Damn,
part
was it?
when they were doing the auditions at the Roxy, and there was the two little kids
Oh
that were
yeah, 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 yeah.
they were popping. He was, I think he,
With the white shirt,
yeah, the white button
the white
down.
button up shirt. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Damn, that's right. That's right. I got to see him one time. He actually came out to Long Beach once. I met you know, from one of the third base dancers I met. He used to have these basement parties, man.
Oh
And they were
wow.
crazy. And he came out once to one of them, man.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, yeah, really cool brother.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it started to fade off there, but then we, you know, every now and then, you know, we did a video with Poobah. Like, I'm talking about like 2000, early 2000. It was a we were in one of his videos like in 2000, and then in 2010, Sadat reached out and we were in a featured in his song with Pete Rock.
Okay.
Um, forget the name of it right now, but I was featured in that one at that time as by myself because I truth kind of was just like got busy with his production. You know, I wasn't there. You know, I was always dancing just on some just, you know,
Having
to have
fun.
fun at this time. You know, I was making money other ways. I wasn't doing it professionally anymore, but you know, from time to time, you know, I would come back and do stuff for them. And even about maybe 5, 6 years ago, when the Masters of Ceremony concert started happening at
Mhm.
Radio City, I think one of the first ones. I think it might have been 2016. No, maybe earlier, maybe 15. I'm not sure, but they had asked us to come out. Brand Nubian had asked us to come out to perform with them at Radio City. And I was like, yo, we never did Radio City. I'm like, yo, we're gonna do this. You know what I mean? And we did one song to slow down. You know what I mean? And after we was like, ah, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but you know, we
Yo,
got to do it.
I'm gonna tell you one thing I was disappointed about was at the Your MTV Raps anniversary, you guys didn't come out, man. At the Barclays.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. You know what's so funny?
Remember,
My
I think you were there, weren't you there?
Yeah, I was hanging out there. You know
I
what? I was
saw
there for
you.
my actually my wife was performing that night. She was dancing for Yo-Yo.
Yeah, and I remember
So
I
I was just
saw
there with
you.
her.
Yeah, but I remember you were sitting a little bit behind where I was, and I kept
Okay.
saying, I was like, "Oh shit, they're gonna come out." Because remember, they had Special Ed had his
Right,
dances.
right, right, right.
Everybody had pretty much all their dances, and then you guys didn't come out. I was like, "What the fuck?"
You know what it is that, you know, I don't, you know, I don't like coming out solo. to be honest with you, because it's a group thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so if our truth is not down with it, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
it's not gonna have that same
of course,
impact. You know
of
what I'm
course,
saying? So
of
it's,
course.
I mean, I've done shows solo with them back in the days at that time, but early, but when someone else couldn't make it, sometimes both of them couldn't make it, and it'd just be me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just always feel like, I think it's a routine, you know what I mean? And it's just, I
Of
don't know.
course. I'm saying as a fan, I
Right,
was
right,
sitting
right.
there like, come on, man. You got all these other dances coming out. Where the hell's SOS, man?
No doubt. Yeah, I took a picture with everybody too earlier outside before, like
Did you?
in front of,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It was Ziggy. It was
Ziggy.
who else? IBM, a Nice and Smooth. IBM came out.
Mhm.
Mike Swift from IOU was also dancing with
Right, right.
Nice and Smooth.
Right.
Yeah,
Damn, Ziggy. Yeah, that's right, man. They were dope too. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
We recently lost Stud Doogie. Did you have a
Mhm.
relationship with him, and do you have any best memories you'd like to share?
Oh man, we had a relationship from, being down in the same crew together, you know what I mean? Being part of, Brand Nubian, and also being part of Grand Poobah. Uh, you know, Stud Diggy, is you with me? SOS, is you with me? You know what I mean? That's forever. Like, we're always gonna be tied together, and just touring and just having good times, man. Just him being as a DJ inspired me as well. You know what I mean? So watching him do his thing, his skill set, and yeah, man. But he remained Pooba's DJ until his very last day. So anytime I'll go see Poobah at a show, Stud Diggy's there.
It's a good segue into my next question. At what point do you start to transition into DJ?
You know what's crazy, man? I didn't start transitioning to DJ until like the like very late '90s, like '99 almost. Even though I collected records throughout since I was a kid, uh, and I collected music, I didn't make that transition until like early '99, like late '99, 2000, early 2000s. Yeah.
Very dope. Can you talk about some of the spots that you frequented, had residencies, some of your best memories of holding residency at some of the spots?
Yeah, man, it's so many, man. It's been a good over 20 years now that I've been doing it. I started at a place called White Rabbit that was on Houston Street. That was one of my first residencies. Winded up at a couple hotels, the Tom Bar, which is at 60 Thompson Hotel. So many, man. The Hudson Hotel. I can't even, like, if I start to remember, we'll be here a long time, man. But I mean, it was dope because I'm DJing in New York City, and you get to meet some of your like heroes. Not hero, but like Denzel Washington pops up in the spot one day, and I'm like, wow, like, yo, Denzel's coming down. They're like, yo, Denzel's on the rooftop, he's coming down. I'm like, oh, word, like. So I'm like, all right, let me start playing some kind of classics. You know what I'm saying? I start getting some classic joints, and then he comes down. He's like chilling at the lounge right there at the corner, right next to me. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. He's with a couple people, and I know one of them from the industry. And he then he sends his man. His man comes up. He's like, yo, Denzel wants to know if you got such and such a George Benson record. And I was like, damn, let me see. Boom, I look at my computer. I was like, yo, I got it, yo. Like, boom.
Man,
I was like, play the joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, boom, I got it. Everything is grooving, everything's going nice, man. And then he kind of goes, yo, he's like, yo, you got rumors? I was like, yeah, I got rumors. Like, now you're starting to throw stuff at me, like, that I'm like, now we're starting to go in, and I'm getting busy. The crowd is feeling it, and then I start kind of going into my hip hop because there's a little bit of a younger crowd like at that time, and I think I started going into some Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Big Papa or something, just some fly stuff. And then he comes up to me, he's like, yo, you got Warning? And I'm like, yeah, I won. But I was kind of throwing on, like, you asking for Warning, son? Like, that's the like hardcore joint.
Yeah.
but it totally made sense to me because Warning is basically like a movie.
Like a story. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think in his mind, it's
He's
like,
trying to reenact Equalizer or something.
so he's in the booth with me now. We're going back to back. He's quoting the whole song with me. Who the hell is this? Boy, paging me at 5:46 in the morning, cracker, and we're just going back to back. I'm like, yo, this is nuts right now.
That's
Like,
crazy.
you know what I mean? So, that's one of my highlights. You know, yeah.
Yo,
So,
how was it meeting Stevie Wonder?
whoa, yeah, that was the craziness. Big up to DJ Spinner, man, and
Spinner, yeah.
yeah, and Bobito for doing the wonderful party. Uh, they did it since I believe 99, 2000. They started the Stevie Wonder tribute,
Mm-hmm.
and Stevie Wonder's birthday falls the day before mine. So they would do this party every year on the weekend of my birthday. Whatever Saturday felt closest to my birthday and his, that's when they did. So I would be there every year. So it was like my favorite party ever. Like I would not miss one. They've been doing it since then. I had not missed one. And every year it would get bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? More people got onto it. Like they were doing it at the Hammerstein. They had like on the seventh floor of the Hammerstein ballroom. They have a whole nother like ballroom up there. And he showed up one day, and I was like, and I knew he was going to show up too because this particular year they didn't. They wound up doing it in a month later in June, and he was going to be performing it in Jones Beach. I don't know
Oh
if you
wow.
remember, he performed in Jones Beach
Okay.
some years back. And I'm like, wait, they switched the party. I'm like, something's going on. I'm like, I hit up Spinner, like, yo, where you gonna? I'm carrying the records with you. Like I'm part of the staff today. Like you know what I'm saying. I'm coming in as staff. They're gonna see me. So when I come on stage, and he showed
Yeah.
up that day, and it was dope. The crowd lost their mind. I didn't meet him that day though. I was there, but I didn't meet him. I was just like, I'm not trying. He was chilling right there. I took some pictures of him. Like, but I didn't want to bother him. I would just let him be. And then fast forward, I was like, yo, Spinner, he was gonna perform at the Barclays Center for the Songs in the Keys of Life tour he did again. He did it a few years back. And I was like, you know what, F this humble stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was humble the first time. I probably could have met him that day and I kind of fell back. But I was like, yo, I hit up Spinner, like, yo, let me know if you can get tickets. Let me know, please. And it was like the day of he hit me. It was like, yo, come on down. We're gonna see. I was standing in the inside the Barclays Center. Still wasn't sure. We were like, yo, we got to find out. We got the envelopes and how many tickets. But as soon as I seen the like, yo, you're a guest of Stevie Wonder. Like they gave us an envelope and had instructions on what to do after the show. I was like, oh, this is gonna happen, yo. Long story short, we wound up. They had actually like a meeting for everybody to meet, like for maybe like 100 people probably backstage to meet him. There was like a meet and greet after the show.
Okay.
But since DJ Spinner had the plug, we kind of wound up getting straight to his dressing room, and I'm just like standing there. He's not there yet, and I'm just waiting, chilling. And there's like a curtain behind me. Like all of a sudden, I look back. Stevie's standing there, son. Like Stevie's just right there, standing there by himself.
By himself.
And I'm like, I'm quiet. I'm like, yo, like,
What do
and
you?
everybody else is kind of talking amongst each other, so no one sees him. And I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing. He don't. I'm not gonna be the first person to be like, yo, what's up, yo, like, what's good.
Yeah.
So I chilled like until I was like, yo, like, and then Spinner saw him and they greeted him.
Like, yo, does nobody see what I'm seeing right now? Like,
yo, I was bugging, man, and Spinner introduced me, and it was memorable, man. It was a bucket list moment.
Hell yeah, that's crazy.
Word up.
That's dope.
How do you feel about the state of DJing in 2022?
I think it's good, man. Like, I mean, I found there's a lot of dope DJs out there, man, and I think it's great to be for me. I know a lot of good DJs. You know what I mean. So I know there's probably whack ones out there, but I don't know where they at. I don't go to the I think if I want to get into it, like it's again, it's always about the shift in the music. You know what I'm saying? And kind of when the shifts happen, and then like things follow. So you know some of the tempo, the trap music, like, you know what I mean, is very like slow, and some of the DJs are just kind of just like, just cut into another record. It's not really about blending, so it's just about the song that's pot hot right now. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you bring it in, and there's cats that do know how to bring it in, even though I learned how to play all types of music, even the new music. You know what I mean? So I do dibble into it when I have to. But like I put my spin on it, like I'm blending it, like I'm bringing it out with something and making sure it's dope. So I think it's dope, man. There's so many, like I said, man, so many dope DJs I follow that are doing their thing. So I think it's great.
I just wanted to ask you, before you were talking about like different clubs and spots that you DJ'd at, or even just frequent at. And from what I remember, there was a certain feeling, you know what I mean, that time and never captured. But are there, from what you see now in places that you go and DJ at sometimes, are there a lot of places that still kind of capture that vibe? Like, let's say for a crowd of our age that comes from that is looking to enjoy themselves in that same fashion.
Yeah,
There are a lot of spots. I mean, besides the fact with this whole pandemic, a lot of
right.
things closing down and changing, but are there still a lot of spots that we can go to and kind of feel that vibe again?
Well, I think there's certain spots, not so much as before, like before the pandemic. Before the
Right.
pandemic, I would, there was a bunch of spots, but you're saying now, like in 2022, or
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what's going on now? You know what I mean? Like for somebody, let's say that's listen, I'm going to be in the city this weekend. You know what I mean? What can I do? What can I hit up?
yeah, man. I've been doing some spots like um, depending on what I do different. Like I go into my hip hop at certain spots. Some spots I do my salsa. Some spots I mix it up with some funk and soul. You know what I mean? So like I have multiple genres that I spin at different places and different venues. So, but if you're looking for like hip hop, like Tony Touches over, they're doing Throwback Tuesdays, or they're just starting to come back slowly. I think they're doing a monthly now. They're not
Okay.
doing weekly like before, so they're doing once a month. So Throwback Tuesdays is a spot. um, and then yeah, man,
It's not
there's
too
a couple. Yeah,
yeah.
it's hard, man. Right now, especially, you know what I mean. They were closing down stuff just 2 weeks ago. A lot of spots were closed
Again.
down. Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. I just want to mention to you, man, my household is a little upset with you in a way. You know what I mean? I'm not that inspired anymore to get up on Sundays and cook a big breakfast. You have me
Yeah.
spoiled to death, bro. Yeah, listen, every Sunday, man, I looked forward to getting up early, getting a couple things done. And then I knew Tahleim was about to jump on with his what was it,
Yeah,
the
man.
South Soul Sundays.
Salsa Sunday, man.
Oh man, yo, Sin-seer. I was in
Oh.
here cooking breakfast. I didn't care how many people were here, whatever. It didn't mind. That music was playing, zoned
Thank
out.
you, man. Thank you, man. Sorry, man. Like, you
Don't
know
do it
what it is?
anymore.
Things open back up, you know what I mean? And like, that's
Nah,
something
I
I
know,
was
I
doing.
know.
And I really enjoyed doing it, you know what I mean? Like, because I had no place to go, and I enjoyed that spinning on that platform. It was something new for me. And I do plan on going back. It's just like my schedule, since
Yeah, yeah.
things got opened back up, I've been kind of doing brunches and things like that. So it's hard for me to do it now because I have to go do another gig at that time.
It's all right.
So
I'm giving Dunkin' Donuts my business now.
but I'm doing, I'm actually doing it live Salsa Sunday this
Yeah, yeah,
at the
yeah.
sampler this Sunday. You know what I mean? So you could always come out and you know, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, nah, I'm messing with you, man. But I really did, you know, like I think Sin-seer was saying, man, not too long ago, you know, during the pandemic and the quarantine, even though it was, you know, not a great time, and unfortunately we lost a lot of people, whatever, but a lot of good
Mm,
things came out of it, man. And, you know,
right.
we got to connect with a lot of people. Um, Even, you know, just like I said, a simple thing like getting up when everything's so crazy, you provided something for us to feel good about, man.
No
So,
doubt. I appreciate
you
that.
know, you guys are very important to the culture and just, man, just in general, because you provide
Yeah,
a,
man.
you know, it's like, man, it's like a theme music to our lives. You know what I mean? Um, I can remember, you know, there's so many things that I can remember, you know, whether it was going to APT, man, and seeing like Rich Medina, you know what I mean, spinning,
APT.
or Q-Tip sometimes would be there spinning. Um, you know, so you know, I just want to
Bobito.
Bobito, oh, forget it, Bobito, you know, and it's just the experience, man. Like, you know, you guys, you know, like people like yourself, Rich Medina, all these other great spinner, you know, you guys are what curate, you know what I mean? And if you guys
Mhm.
weren't that good, you know, for example, nobody's gonna really go, right? But it's like, oh, Tahleim spinning over there, you know what it is, you know what to expect, and you guys attract a certain type of crowd. You know what
Right.
I mean? And so you guys are very important, man. Very important. I
Thank you,
just
man.
wanted to tell
Appreciate
you,
that.
you know, that we appreciate you guys a lot, you in particular. That's why I
Thank
wanted
you.
to do this tonight, because I've actually been wanting to try to get, you know, do something like this with you for a little while now.
Right.
Um, just because I appreciate what you do. And or we do, I should say, you know what I mean? Me and Sin-seer
No doubt,
appreciate
for
what you
sure.
do. And yeah, man, we just want to show you our support, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot to me, man. You know, you know, it's connected with people, man. It's, you know, it's all about connection. You know what I mean? And like, you know, just making people feel good, and you know what I'm saying, and people who enjoy the culture and enjoy the music. You know, just connecting with those like-minded people who enjoy the things you enjoy and appreciate it, and
Hmm.
that's what gives it value.
No doubt. Before we get out of here, can you catch us up on what you're currently working on and what we can look forward to in the future?
Man, just working on, I'm DJing still, you know what I'm saying, mostly on weekends now. You can just follow me on IG at DJ Tahleim. Also on Facebook, Tahleim Reyes. Also have a DJ page, fan page, DJ Tahleim. That's Tahleim. That's spelled right there. Anything that I'm working on, I'm always posting about it, so you guys can follow me. I'm working on a couple of mixtapes. Um, I also have my Mixcloud as well. Everything's at DJ Tahleim, so you can go to my Mixcloud and check out my mixes. I put out a mix earlier this year, the one I sent you, Born Cipher, Hip Hop in 1990, two, Volume 1, Volume 2.
Let me cut you off right there. Is that still your favorite year in hip hop?
I believe so, man. Like that's one of the most impactful, I think, I think it was just so because it had so much to offer, you know what I'm saying? Like from the late 80s to the like it was like the late 80s and what it was the middle of that golden era, is the dead center of it, so there's so many things that added to it, and then so many things that came from there, all the freshmen that came in that year, Tribe Called Quest, Brand Nubian, Poor PRT, I think King Sun, like all these groups that dropped in 1990 was X Clan, like amazing. And then you had Ice Cube and PE, EPMD, KRS, like all working on like their third album. So you were getting the best of like the vets, and then all these new guys coming out with that mix. It was crazy. And the time, you had BPMs from like 89 BPMs to 115. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you had that, so much to pick from. And the hardcore and then the conscious.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I have
Yeah.
to agree with that timestamp.
No doubt. Like he said, we appreciate everything you've done for the culture, everything you continue to doing. Thank you so much for the opportunity tonight. Anything you want to
Thank you.
leave with, Uncle E?
No, just, like I said, I want to thank you, for providing us with the feeling that you do. Cause like we, at Changing of the Hip Hop Guards, that's what we represent. We try to, capture and just represent the feeling, you know what I mean? Like of hip hop. Well, yeah, hip hop culture, but it just,
Right.
that whole embodiment, like that is hard to explain, right? So
Right.
that's what we represent. And thank you for continuing to spread that out.
No doubt, man. Peace and love to everyone, man. Thank you for your support, man, and much love to everybody, man. All right. Thank
Thank you
you,
so
man.
much.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Thank you,
man.
guys.
Thank you for your
Peace.
time. Peace.